Are you ready to actually really dive into what are examples of tasks that you should definitely delegate to an executive assistant, and what are things you can automate with AI? Now, in the last couple of years, especially with the rise of AI, there's always been like this fear mongering of like, oh, executive assistants are all over. You don't need an assistant ever again. You just need to use AI. And on the flip side, there's also been, of course, the not so nice outcomes of AI that you definitely still need someone to watch over and actually manage the AI. In the previous video that I've already done, I basically walk you through how to have your assistant take over AI, or essentially how it can manage your AI. And I'll give you a few examples of figuring out whether you should delegate this or automate this. Now, in the last year, this has been a weekly mini series on YouTube Shorts and on TikTok for me. And it's something that I've been really enjoying doing and walking you through exactly what are the tasks that you should either delegate or automate. Now, a mistake that I do see a lot of people make when it comes to starting to think about delegating or automating is they just throw things at them, and you don't want to do this. You definitely don't want to do delegation by abdication. You want to at least have some sort of process that you are walking the person through when it comes to delegating few of the tasks or outcomes to your assistant or to the AI. And this is something that we do build with our clients at 2XU. And if you want to be able to explore what kind of executive assistant you would need, feel free to book a call below. Now, the first task that you might be thinking of delegating or automating to an assistant is essentially just the inbox management, or basically some inbox triage and prioritization. It's basically having your inbox be fully managed by someone else, whether that's going to be AI or executive assistant. Now, this one is going to be a little bit of a combo of both, but 70% of it still needs your assistant. What this basically means is your EA will have the context, will have the prioritization of like how urgent does this need to be, or will this need a little bit of a pause? Will this need for context from someone else? Because AI just doesn't have that context, right? Of like who your relationships are, what are your priorities are in the day-to-day. Your executive assistant knows that the best. So yes, you can definitely use AI to be able to draft the email responses or draft the first type of email that you want to send out, but it will definitely need your executive assistant to be able to tell it which one is right and which one is wrong, and to quality check all of these responses to make sure that if it does get sent out to the person you want to send out an email to, it doesn't sound to AI. Next is calendar management and scheduling logic, like figuring out what your calendar should look like within the week, and then managing essentially as these invites or as people book on your calendar. And this one again airs more to the human judgment of your assistant knows your habits, your goals, what you want to do, who the people are in your life who are important to be on your calendar. So for example, for myself, within just managing my calendar, my assistant knows who my head of operations is, who the client success managers are, who are the managers for the EAs. So when it comes to scheduling on my calendar, she knows that those people are priority. Now, if anyone else comes in, let's say someone who just needed a quick consulting, or someone who might just be inviting me to speak on their podcast, she knows to move those around to be able to make space for the important items on my calendar. She also knows to block out my focus time so I can focus on projects. And when it comes to AI, it could be that depending on how you set up AI, it could just mean like, oh, you only need this many meetings in a day. You can kick off everything else. But in reality, again, building relationships, having context, working with different people, that can look very much different. Next is essentially client relationship management. Now, this one can be a little bit of a good combo of both. So for example, for us, of course, we have one place where we have the client notes, the transcriptions of meetings, what were decisions that we made before with our client, and we can definitely just ask AI like, hey, what can we do next? But it's still up to your EA to be able to grasp a little bit of the context and anything else that could be a little bit blurry that's not in the notes, where they can actually manage the relationships a little bit better, making sure it's customized for the client that you're working with. So again, a really good example is we have something like that in 2XU, where we have just one space where we have all of the notes, but it's still to my assistant who knows that a birthday for the client is coming up to know what their preferences could be, what are the things that they would like or they would enjoy, as well as having good knowledge about the nuances about working with this client, whether that's one of the clients that we really love working with or a client that we're really trying to work it out, and be able to come up with better ideas of what to send them for their birthday. So again, there's a little bit of that personalized touch. When it comes to the task of project coordination and tracking, this again is something that yes, AI can know or learn how to do just based on summary, but your executive assistant is the one who can really validate that it is real, that it is true, that it's aligned towards the company goals, that it makes sense in the long run. And of course, managing the staff, managing your people of like, as the project moves along, are you contacting the right people? Are you getting the right resources to be able to keep this project going? Basically, your EA anchors the project into reality, versus for AI, it can draft the projects, it can draft the summary, it can draft the report, but it is still your assistant who knows the business or the project a little bit more intimately than an AI ever could. Now, when it comes to content repurposing and workflow, I have so many videos on this channel already on what that can look like and how that AI flow, but it's still my assistant verifying that I don't sound too AI, verifying that it actually is true to source material, that AI just didn't add like a few random things in there. And of course, when it comes to the publishing, it does still need an owner of like scheduling the publishing, making sure that it uses the correct hashtags, the description, the thumbnail, all of the stuff that you guys see as the finished product. AI can draft it, but my assistant is the one who's making sure that actually is relevant, makes sense for the content that we're creating. When it comes to data cleanup and systems maintenance, this is still something that, yes, AI can clean it up, but it's also going to be just a human who can watch like, hey, this doesn't match what was previously set before, or this doesn't match the processes that we've set before. So it still needs a lot of correction and training to make sure that it is on track on the work that it's currently doing. Now, in regards to what can actually AI do, or what can AI really replace, one is what we talked about already. It's creating drafts. So email drafts, content drafts, when it comes to the drafting of a plan or some sort of project that you're trying to create. AI is really good at that, of looking at a mass amount of information, gathering it up, and then making it make sense for a human to be able to read it. When it comes to research, summaries, and analysis, this is another task that you can have AI to do, because again, it can gather and read a bunch of data that would usually take about 2 to 3 days, or maybe even longer for a human to go through and analyze. AI can just go ahead and compile all of that, and making sure that whatever it gives a report on is something that you can decide on and move forward and actually start executing. And the same can be said when it comes to reporting and synthesizing data. For my YouTube channel, as an example, I run it through essentially having it analyzed by AI on what kind of other videos I could create for you. And essentially it's between me and my assistant who to still decide what to do afterwards. AI should definitely be the one supporting systems and not actually making them or creating them from scratch. It's still up to you as the entrepreneur to guide your executive assistant and their own AI assistants to where you want to be. And the ideal is that your assistant runs the AI, you as the founder, you as the business owner, you review the outcome, so then you have, again, the data that you need to be able to make the decision on how you want to move forward. So essentially it all runs down to, you have to make sure that you're delegating before you actually automate. Is you're having your human executive assistant getting that human insight first, and then you can start automating to make it a little bit faster and easier for your assistant as well. So it's a tool, not a replacement. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there. Comment below any questions you might have when it comes to delegating or automating tasks to an executive assistant to an AI. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Thursday on how to grow your business, especially with an EA and AI. And for your executive assistant, they can check out my other channel, more on career and AI right here. And you can check out the latest video right here. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and with that, small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!